I am going to remake my tutorial for my trading card game Quickstrike. I've made some changes. Like in the beginning of the game, you draw 6 cards. You can mulligan now. Basically, a mulligan in this game is pretty much you just send your cards that you don't want in your hand at the beginning of the game before either player goes. You send that back to the deck and you redraw the same amount. Now, the things that I had to change were the cover ability. I saw when I was playing against myself in this game that the cover ability is useless. In my old version, I had an ability where basically you could block a team attack. Not a team attack, you could block regular attacks if you had a teammate there, but you could just attack the weaker character, so just forget about that. Now, basically in this game you have 5 types of cards. You have your avatar card, as you see here. This is Loretia's avatar card. It's going to represent whose playstyle you'll have. You have the emergency card, where when you have less than 15 or less vitality, vital for short in this game, you'll be able to use it. Here, it looks very powerful, but the thing is, Loretia isn't really that much of a power style of a user, so I gave her a powerful emergency card. Anyway, both players draw 6 cards. And for the other types of cards, you have personal skills, avatars, and artifacts. Like this is an artifact here. The payment costs will be done in resources. Resources will be the 1 card per turn you play face down. Like I'll play this card face down right here. Okay? That's basically how that goes. You also roll a die to determine who goes first. And that's pretty much your game. I'll explain a couple other things for the cards too. Like with the personal skills, the emergency cards and the avatars have to agree. Like you see, there's Loretia for the personal skill, Vitalize, Loretia for the avatar, and again Loretia for the emergency card. Now, let me explain cards though. Like there are 2 Loretia cards here, Rejuvenation and Mage Leader. You can use the focus ability. Like let's pretend that we're at a game situation where I have 4 resources, okay? Let's pretend I have that for a minute. And when I use that, basically the focus ability, when you're in battle with another character, you use it to give the attack and defense for 1 fight of a character +1. So to just use the focus ability, like let's say I was at a game situation like right here where I had the 4 resources. Like with Loretia, the Mage Leader, you just nail them or tap them, and it's called in other games. That indicates that you paid for it, and you recover the resources in your regroup phase. Anyway, the focus ability, like while I was in battle, I just discard Loretia Rejuvenation. You could do it the other way too. If Loretia Rejuvenation was there and I had a Mage Leader in my hand, and you get +1 attack and defense for the fight. Let me explain the different phases of the game too. You basically have the regroup phase here, where you recover all your resources in 1 character. The rest go to the bench. The bench will be the discard pile for this game. That's what you do there. You draw a card. If you use an avatar ability, like Kevin's for example, which was to, let me just show you what Kevin's ability is. Yeah, here's his ability, self-awareness. You draw 2 cards and you discard a card or pay 4 vitality. You use that instead of drawing your normal card. And your calling phase is when you play your artifacts and characters. You can play any card as a resource, but you can only play personal skills from your resource area if you have the prerequisite. Like, let's say with this example I had here, I could play Vitalize because the prerequisite was 3, but I had 4 resources, so I could play that even if they're nailed. The only time you can't do that is when it tells you that the card is nailed. Like with let's see, a good example would be Loretia's Power Steel card. It's a pretty good card too, though it relies on your opponent. Let me just show it. There we go. There's Power Steel right here. That's basically that. And it's a cool card. So that's pretty much that for the tutorial. I just want to explain one more thing too with the scenario. Like let's say I have this card here, these two cards out. That would be the altruist Kevin and Laretia, the mage leader. And let's say I have this card, Mike the resigned guard out. I can do a team attack where basically I have Laretia. I know Laretia, and I have her and Kevin attack him. And in this game, regular attacks would just nail a character, giving them 0 attack and defense, but a team attack can finish them off. Plus, a team attack pulls the attack. So this is 4 attack plus 2 attack, which is 6, which would be greater than this 5. And then you just take the difference and you deduct that from the opponent's vitality. And since they got benched, it will be the calling cost too. And that's pretty much the game. You basically play until either one player is forced to draw and they run out of cards in their deck, or the other player runs out of vitality. And oh yeah, with your artifacts, basically you play them, you attach them to your characters. They're sort of like equip cards, and it's a pretty cool feature of the game. It helps you out a lot. I suggest you try using them, and you have a lot of combos in this game too. Like, let me just show some cards here. For example, I have a card called John Strong and Silent, where when you discard it for an effect, you can tutor 2 artifacts. So that's a pretty cool ability. And that Kevin Altruist, that's another cool card too. This is because of the fact that you can play it as a resource instead of your normal 1 resource per turn. And that's a helpful ability if you're not having any luck drawing personal skills, since those are the cards that you really want to play as resources, but you won't always get them every game. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I think that's basically all I have to say, and if you have any questions, just PM me or email me. Thank you.